Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video. When I started making videos for social media, my goal was to have a camera system that works in every situation and delivers great footage. At the same time, I wanted to have something easy to handle. Small, lightweight and perfect for traveling. Since I was just getting into content creation, it was also important to keep the costs reasonable. That's why I've decided to go with the Sony Alpha 6700, paired with a 16mm 1.4 contemporary lens from Sigma. This setup has been my go-to for most of my work, just like right now as I'm talking to this camera setup. But beyond just the camera and lens, there are some other key features that help create high-quality content. So let's talk about the perfect setup for vlogging, cinematic videos and content creation, whether for social media or for your business. This video is basically for creators, YouTuber and Instagrammer who are just starting out or are in the early stage of their journey. But anyway, if you don't, you are invited to watch, of course. So let's start right into it. I structured this video in 4 different parts, which I believe are the most important ones: camera, lens, ND filter and sound. So let's begin with the camera. The Sony Alpha 6700 is a APS-C camera, which means it has a smaller sensor than full-frame cameras, but still offers many of the advanced features. It is a hybrid camera, making it perfect for both video and photography. Something that was really important to me when I chose my setup. I wanted to have a camera that allows me to create high quality videos while also taking great photos. One of my favorite features is the flip out display, which makes it perfect for vlogging and talking head videos. And thanks to the AI powered autofocus, you will always stay sharp in the frame. With its 26 megapixels backside illuminated sensor, the Alpha 6700 delivers brilliant footage, even without an expensive and complicated lighting setup. The sensor is designed to perform well in low light situations. So even if you only have a small ring light or compact video light at home, you can still get professional looking results. And that brings me to the next very important part of the setup: the lens. As I already mentioned, I used a Sigma 16mm 1.4 lens for most of my shots, especially for vlogging and talking head videos, but also when I'm shooting outdoors, whether it is B-roll, landscapes or people. This lens is usually my first choice. Why? It is an absolute light catcher. Compared to my other lenses, this one absorbs an incredible amount of light, making it perfect to shoot in low light environments. Even with small lighting setups. It performs perfect with the smaller APS-C sensor of the camera. A professional lighting setup can be heavy and costs thousands of euros, which isn't always an option when you're just starting out. That's why a good lens like this is absolutely a game changer. With its 1.4 aperture, a huge amount of light can enter the lens, allowing you to shoot even in dimly lit spaces, while still maintaining excellent image quality. Fun fact, this is my first self-constructed video light frame. I used it very often, to be honest, and I'm still using it sometimes in specific situations. So don't be afraid to get creative with your setup. Anything goes as long as the result works. Let's jump back to the camera for a second and why I have decided to go with the Alpha 6700. I actually started with the Sony Alpha 6600, but as soon as the 6700 was released, I upgraded, mainly because of 3 major improvements. The first one, the flip display. It was a game changer. There's definitely not much to say here. It was a huge upgrade for me. I shoot a lot of talking head videos and vlogs. So having a fully articulating flip screen made a massive difference. The Sony 6600 only had a flip-up screen, which was okay, but far from ideal. Second, better video settings. The Alpha 6700 can shoot in 4K 60 fps, up to 120 fps with an additional crop, and records in 10-bit 4:2, which means much more color depth for professional editing. This is a huge step up from the 6600 because it gives you more flexibility in post-production, especially for color grading and dynamic range. And the third one, improved stabilization. The 6700 features a 5-axis in-body stabilization, along with the enhanced software stabilization. This makes a huge difference when it comes to handheld shots. It helps to create smoother, more professional shots, even without a gimbal. When shooting professional videos, you should always set your camera manually, meaning you control the frame rate, shutter speed, ISO and aperture to achieve the best results. But when shooting outdoors in bright environments, this often makes ND filters essential to maintain proper exposure. I use the Freewell magnetic polarized ND filters because they offer excellent optical quality and make switching filters super fast and easy. You simply mount the base ring on your lens. And thanks to the magnetic system, you can quickly attach the filters you need, like the ND 2 to 5 stop, the 6 to 9 stop, or even a mist filter if you want to add a slightly dreamy cinematic look. All filters are polarized, which helps reducing reflections on surfaces like glass or water, making your footage looking cleaner and more professional. Here's an example that shows the impact clearly. Here you see a shot with ND filter, and this is a shot, the same shot, without using polarized ND filter. Sure, it's a matter of personal preferences, but the difference speaks for itself. However, the main reason for using ND filters isn't just the polarization. It's about controlling your exposure and motion blur. With the magnetic system, I can quickly swap filters, like switching from the base ND filter to the mist filter, as you can see here. One of the most overlooked but most important part of video creation is sound. You can have stunning visuals, but if your audio quality is poor, people will stop watching. That's why I use the RØDE Video Mic NTG. A versatile, high-quality microphone that delivers crystal clear voice recordings, while also capturing the natural ambience of your surroundings. And this is why I love the mic. Directional sound capture. It focuses on your voice while minimizing the background noise. It's perfect for both indoor use and outdoor use. Whether you're recording on a controlled environment or outdoor, the sound remains clean and professional. And you have multiple connection options. It works seamlessly with smartphones, laptops and cameras, making it super flexible in different shooting scenarios. Investing in good audio is just as important as having great visuals. It makes your content feel more professional and immersive, even with a compact setup. So let me show you this setup here. So I have a little video lamp on top of the screen. This one acts like the key light in this case. And on the left hand side I have a little tube light. This one serves as the fill light. And in the back of the screen I have another tube light. This gives an orange tone to the setup and is a contrast to the white and cool tone of the fill light. Here I have the RØDE microphone, and in the back I have just two simple room lamps for the background lighting. This is the whole setup. Easy, simple and very cheap. Everyone can afford this. Nicht. So all the tools that I mentioned, like the Sony Alpha 6700, the Sigma lens, the Freewell ND filters and the RØDE Video Mic are part of the setup that works very well for me. But these are not must-haves. What really matters is understanding what each tool does, and that the factors video quality and audio are essential and crucial to receive good results. If you want to create professional looking content, good equipment definitely makes a difference. It helps you get better quality, makes the process easier and gives you more creative freedom. But you don't need to start with everything at once. Focus on what matters most to you. If you found this video helpful, feel free to drop a like and subscribe to my channel. And let me know in the comments which part of the setup you are most interested in. I would be happy to go deeper into any tools I've showed here. Thanks for watching and keep creating. Bye bye.